Project Aurora is literally the craziest undertaking I've ever done in my life. A Dungeons & Dragons online MMORPG that takes place on a VTT with a persistent, living and breathing universe, where its focus is not just the D&D game, but a full-fledged commitment to provide as much content inside the game as well as outside the D&D game. A universe where the sheer number of people in a game, from where there is around 6 players and probably 1 DM, isn't just doubled or tripled, but significantly scaled more than tenfold, while keeping continuity, player agency, social interactions, professionalism, community, the ability to forge a legacy, making a name for yourself, being the forefront of everything that is Project Aurora. Just the attempt alone to make something as vast in concept is mind-boggling to even think about, as you probably clicked on this video to figure out what the heck this project even is, what it's trying to accomplish, will it even succeed, and if it's even worth getting invested into. Project Aurora is a one-of-a-kind experience that gives a lot, but also asks for a lot. From asking players to play online D&D with either friends or total strangers, to having to pay to play, to also having enough time to play to even begin with. However, when I was making Project Aurora, I knew all the issues we were going to face for such an ambitious thing. And that's why I began to try and start solving all of them. Each and every one of the problems faced in TTRPGs, every one of them. I didn't want to cut corners, and I knew I couldn't do it alone. So I hired a team of people to help me do it. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. We're gonna backtrack, as you probably don't know who I am and what's my role in this, right? My name is Sensei Suplex, and at the end of the day, I'm literally just a 23-year-old kid who just wants to show the world the game of Dungeons & Dragons, in hopes of it impacting their life like it has for me. I want people like me to see how crazy the world of TTRPGs can actually be. From the creatives who love to share and tell stories through art, writing, and other media outlets, to the people who've struggled to find and make friends since the pandemic, for the people who wanted to finally play a consistent D&D game that doesn't fizzle out, to even the people who wanted to be a part of something so big and truly matter. I'm talking about looking back at what you've accomplished, and not looking back in disgust or maybe regret, but instead to feel satisfaction and maybe even a bit of pride. To the people who just want to have fun and do badass things with their friends, or maybe soon to be friends. To the people who just want to express who they truly are and not have to hide behind a mask in fear of being judged. I made Project Aurora for people like me because there wasn't anything like it at the time when I just got started. So I'm making it for those people. My team is making it for those folks. We're making it for you. To give some context, I've been working on Project Aurora for about 85% of my time since I've been into TTRPGs to begin with. That's not a joke. And considering I'm only 23, you might think that's not really a long time, but let's put it in perspective. With it being 2024, I played D&D for about 5 to 6 years straight now, and that is every single month, almost every single day, I've spent creating this experience and curating it to make it the best it can possibly be. I didn't want to make Aurora for the that guys, and I didn't want to make it for the people who want to be a jerk and justify it in character. I didn't make it for gatekeepers, and I didn't make it for people who want to be the main character at everyone's expense, or the people who want to just gossip and talk crap about people behind their backs. I didn't make Project Aurora for that, not at all. I made it for the people who want to be comfortable at the game table and experience what Dungeons & Dragons could really be when everyone's committed to the table and making sure that we're all having fun. The player to their left, the player to the right, the dungeon master, everyone. That's our mission. Make the wildest, most epic, most impactful, chaotic, fun, and memorable D&D experience for D&D players who want to not just really play in another game, but to truly let this be the one they remember most and left the biggest impact on, while making lifelong friends in the process. You can help me on this mission. Hundreds of others have, and if you're watching this video here, the algorithm is telling you that it's your time to help too, or something. But how has it actually helped others? Is this project just all talk, or is it smoke and mirrors, or is it actually something to take note of? Well, Rainbow Renegade, one of my Aurora players, specifically said it was worth it and more. They said this: I walked into this as my first ever paid campaign, having only played home games or unprofessionally for most of my life. I can cleanly say this is worth it. Sensei's professional, hilarious, thoughtful, and makes the payment worth it for sure. Style of DMing and the world building and the player agency that he incorporates made the world feel like I belonged, even though I wasn't the main focus of the campaign, which was huge for me. I felt like everyone in the story really mattered, to the side NPCs that appeared once in the session, to the main bad guy. To the players themselves, the entire world felt lived in and real. Scenes weren't just battle maps, they were a part of the city we played in, and the stakes were massive but never insurmountable. All I can say is, if you're on the fence, try it out. It's worth the effort, I promise you. Now, I didn't know Rainbow until towards the end of last year, and I saw someone who came in a bit unsure of what this project actually entailed. But they took the leap anyways, and within only about 4 to 5 months, they became one of the most well-known individuals in the community. They also play one of the most known characters in Aurora, and have gotten involved in so many things Aurora where she's practically bleeding the colors of an Aurora Borealis. They got so involved with the project, I even offered them an actual job to work on Aurora with me, as I was just pretty much inspired by their commitment to the project, you know? If a D&D game could suck you in and completely change your life, and all you had to do was play like 4 sessions to see if it was or if it could, wouldn't it be worth it? Well, Kate thought so. They said, I wasn't a part of the campaign for as long as others were, but I immediately found myself feeling welcomed, invested, and a part of the story. I loved all the visuals I was given, and the music was very nice too. But the thing that tied this whole experience together were the people involved. On top of this, there was the DM Sensei. His DMing style, voice acting, which I was always excited about, and the ability to keep everyone actively happy and content is just top tier. The man found his calling. And I look back at this testimonial every now and again because this campaign I had ran for her was only about 4 weeks long, and she joined in for the last 2 sessions. And she had so many nice things to say, and that was just my campaign in August before we added so many more features and staff behind the project. But if people have been enjoying the project now and watched it grow to become even bigger, seeing the impact they've made, wouldn't it be a little interesting to see it play out? Wouldn't it be at least worth giving it a shot? Now, those were just the people I DM'd for, but even Elric, an individual I didn't really DM for, thought so. They joined all the way back in the beginning of January 2023 when we opened up Aurora to the public as like an alpha type thing. They had to say, since coming on board in 2023 and experiencing all the DMs of the All-Touch continent, forming bonds through these characters with the ones who have left, those that remained, and those that took their place. Always felt that there was access to a game accommodating to my needs, and I love All-Touch, it's my home, but big thanks to Sensei for giving me the chance to join Aurora in the first place. Wouldn't have it any other way. Look, all these individuals' lives were changed in some way, shape, or form because of Aurora. From the friendships that were made, to how it helped them express themselves, to even where they found the next thing to consume their life in and make it better for it. These are just some of the stories that hundreds have had. And by all means, we're not perfect. Like, we're new to this. We've been learning the ways of business through trial and error. We've had to manage hundreds of people and things in a community, and we don't always get things right. We don't. But when you really rock with this, when you stick it out and you look back at all the things that you've done and you witness how everything has shaped since you joined, or since you had that one session, and you see the consequences of it, there is no, and I mean bar none, no greater feeling than it. To see not how you affected a game, but how you affected a world, a universe, a community, an entire experience for others years down the line to interact with.